Did you know that one of your female hormones, when it's in balance, can help you sleep? So that can be your best ally, and that is progesterone. So stay tuned to learn more about progesterone and sleep. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I post a new video every Friday all about hormone balance. So if you're ready to get off that hormone roller coaster, you're feeling just like you're going up and down all the time with your hormones, and you want to reclaim your hormone health and reclaim the magic of feeling well, then stay tuned to this channel. You're in the right place. I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. I'm a functional medicine physician. I am a registered dietitian, and I'm a board-certified family physician. And I've helped hundreds of women deal with their hormonal imbalances and get back into balance where they feel steady and they feel well and they're thriving again. And I can help you too. So today we're talking about progesterone and sleep. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the effects that a balanced level of progesterone will have on your sleep and some other ways to help you improve your sleep, particularly if your sleep is related to hormone imbalance. So let's start by saying women's sleep problems, particularly in the perimenopause years, like the late 30s to early 50s, are not all about progesterone. So I want to start there before we delve straight into the progesterone. But progesterone levels do gradually decline during this age range and gradually decline during perimenopause. So progesterone is very important to a good night's sleep. Now, progesterone helps regulate mood. It helps to fight anxiety and depression. And it promotes a sense of feeling calm. It increases the GABA, which is a neurotransmitter that can help us sleep. It boosts relaxation and just kind of gets us ready to sleep. Think about if you were ever pregnant, that you slept really well because progesterone is high. So unless you're uncomfortable from being pregnant, you usually slept better and you were tired more often. You had to take that afternoon nap because of more progesterone surging in your body. Now, it doesn't mean the more progesterone, the better. There's a certain balance. You always want to have a balance with your hormones. And think about right before your period, your progesterone levels drop. And I hear from a lot of women in kind of their PMS cycle time frame that they don't sleep well. They may feel anxious, their mind may be racing, and that may be due to the drop in progesterone. So if you wake frequently, you're feeling restless or anxious, then get your progesterone levels checked. See if that's the problem. Like I said, it gradually declines throughout perimenopause, so you can kind of not notice it all at once, but you can gradually feel that shift the closer you get or the further you get in your perimenopause phases. And check out my other video that was about what is perimenopause, and it does have that document that shows you the perimenopause phases and what your hormones are doing. So did you know that 56% of women in perimenopause sleep less than 7 hours a night? Now remember, our goal for sleep is between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night, well-rested sleep, or good quality sleep. Did you know that 25% of women in perimenopause have trouble falling asleep? And 30% of women in perimenopause have trouble staying asleep, and 50% wake feeling tired. So if that is you, then let's talk more about the effects of progesterone on your sleep. And also, if that sounds like you, please like this video and drop me a comment down below and let me know what you've been struggling with sleep and what has helped you. Because like I've said in all my other videos, if we keep sharing, if women keep talking to each other about their struggles, then we feel comforted by that. We don't feel like we're alone, and we can learn from each other. So what do we do about this problem? Well, first you could get tested. You can get your progesterone levels tested between day 19 and 22 of your cycle. And day 1 is your first day of bleeding. So day 19 through 22 would be 19 to 22 days after you started bleeding, and obviously stopped your period by that point. But day 1 is counted as the first day of bleeding. And you want to look and try to get a ratio, or you want to calculate your ratio of progesterone to estrogen. Now, they're in different metrics. So one's in picograms per milliliter, I think, and the other one's in nanograms. So you can there's a MD calculator thing that I will link down below, clickable link that you can go to and calculate this plug your numbers in. So you want your ratio during this luteal phase, in day 19 through 22, you want your ratio to be between 100 and 500. So see that link down below. And then you can also just make sure you're setting yourself up for success. So before you even go messing with any hormones or anything, just make sure you're setting yourself up for success by practicing good sleep hygiene, supporting your cortisol and your stress hormone levels through regular hours of sleep. So going to bed about 10 or 10:30, waking up about 6 or 6:30. If you have to adjust that a little bit, but around those time frames, anywhere in that 9 to 10 o'clock range or 5 to 6 o'clock wake up range, are the most cortisol or stress hormone supportive hours to sleep. Also, make sure you're turning off the devices within an hour of sleep. Even better, 2 hours. Follow a routine, get a good nighttime relaxation routine going. Maybe do some supportive yoga stretches, some meditation, some deep breathing, some gratitude journaling or regular journaling. Those can all be a good nighttime routine. A cup of herbal tea. I'll link my favorite herbal tea down below because it really helps me relax at night and go to sleep. And just make sure your light in your room is very supportive of sleep and is not very bright lights. You could just turn like a bedside lamp on or something like that. Number 3 would be to make sure you work on estrogen dominance. So I have a lot of videos on estrogen dominance. I will link one of my most recent here, because when your estrogen gets super high and gets way out of whack, like it does in perimenopause, it can push down that progesterone level, and that could be the source of your low progesterone. So before you go supplementing progesterone directly, you always want to talk to your doctor about that anyway. You do want to look at estrogen dominance and see if that's an issue for you. Number 4, you could try supplementing GABA and magnesium, or GABA and or magnesium. Magnesium is just a great start because it can help you detoxify, help relax you, and help you go to sleep, help your bowel movements. So really all around a great supplement that a lot of us are deficient in because our soil is not very rich in magnesium. So I usually tell people to start with, if they have any kind of issues with bowel movements, to start with, or with hard bowel movements and constipation, to start with a magnesium citrate. That's the word I was thinking of, magnesium citrate. So like the natural calm powder, I'll put a link for that down below. A lot of people like that. But if your bowel movements are spot on and you don't want to mess with at all, then I would recommend starting with a magnesium glycinate, and that has less effect on the bowel movements. But anyway, you start anywhere between like 100 and 200 milligrams. Some people may, if they're deficient, have to go all the way up to 800 milligrams, but you gradually work your way up to that if you need it, and then you cut back if you ever have diarrhea, because you don't want that to happen. You cut back to the prior dose that you were able to tolerate. And then another thing that it could be, GABA also is an herb. I really love a blend called 200 milligrams of Zen. It has GABA and L-theanine in there, and I have no relationship with this company. I just really like that blend, and I use that for myself and for a lot of my patients. So because progesterone affects your GABA levels, GABA may be helpful if you have low progesterone. And now if you want to try a different herb that can directly affect progesterone levels, you could try Vitex or chasteberry. That's been used for centuries for hormonal problems. It's used in perimenopause, it's used in menopause, it's used in PMS, but it can help the surge or the promotion of progesterone. But you definitely want to talk to your doctor about that. And don't use it if you have depression. Sometimes it doesn't work well with people with depression. You definitely always want to talk to your doctor about that. And so fine, it has mixed studies. Some people say it helps, some people say it doesn't. Finally, the last thing you can try is some bioidentical progesterone. I do use that for women in perimenopause, and then in menopause we often combine it with estrogen if a woman wants hormone therapy. Now this is a conflicting area, but the newer research as far as integrative physicians and research about breast cancer, some newer research shows that a mixture of bioidentical hormones after menopause is actually healthy and good for you in some ways. But there's a lot of debate on that. There are some older studies that show that it can lead to some increased health risks. So that's a discussion to have with your doctor, because they need to talk to you about your individual health risks. But you could, for sleep, you could consider taking bioidentical progesterone. For sleep, if I am using it with a patient that I am working with directly, and again, you need to work with your doctor directly, I would have them take it either sublingually or in a micronized capsule, because then it helps to provide that calming. In the oil or the cream, it doesn't necessarily do that as much. But that is my 2 cents on progesterone and sleep. So drop me a line down below, or drop me a comment down below if you've had trouble sleeping and you've tried any of these things and had success, or share any tips you might have or questions you might have. And definitely like and share this video out if you found it helpful. So I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next Friday when I'll be talking more about hormone balance.